Welcome everyone to the Ballinesian podcast, episode 99. As always, sponsored by Livasa Island Apparel, www.livasaislandapparel.com. Before we get to the show, we got the Super Bowl results, what's next for both teams, and the winners and losers, not just the teams, but the specific people that came out as winners or losers for the Super Bowl. But first, sponsored by Livasa Island Apparel, www.livasaislandapparel.com. Shout out to Brother Uriah who sponsored the giveaway, or Super Bowl 58 giveaway. I know we're not supposed to say Super Bowl, but I figure they're not looking for us. Our Super Bowl 58 giveaway. Shout out to Tina Harwood and Hoagie Scott, our winners who got the $58 and the Livasa gear. And welcome to the Instagram account. Thanks to everybody for following and playing along. A bunch of people got really close to the score, but the Super Bowl ending 25-22 that's a funky score. I'm sure that's never been a Super Bowl score before, but the closest one was 24-21, which was only off by 2 points. So shout out to Tina and Scott. Thanks for playing, thanks for following, and shout out to Livasa for sending them some new gear, some of the new sweaters.
The Livasa.
Yes.
The Livasa. You got that's. I've been trying to get you right to send me something for months.
No, he's got. I feel like he always hits us up like in the spring, about to be summer, talking about, hey, I got a new version of the Hoochie Daddy shorts. If you guys want to,
try these out? Yeah, hell yeah.
Take some pictures.
It's almost time. I need some of them shorts. Right? Show this fat ass tattoo I got on my leg. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this summer, 4 days of Aloha over here in Vancouver, Washington, at Esther Short Park, usually put on by the Kikuikui Foundation. 4 days of Aloha. That weekend there's always a big, Polynesian gathering, Islander gathering.
It should be Levasa's third year, also.
Yeah,
that's 3 years in a row, man. That's big, and it's gotten bigger every time. You know how we can tell it got bigger every time? Because the entrance fee gets more expensive. I personally got lucky the first year because she was like, put our names on the list for the Livasa team. So I was like, yeah. She was like, aren't you a famous Polynesian rapper? I gotta start dressing different to these things. But man, 3 years in a row, that's great, man. Me and Lance were at the first one together. I didn't go to the second one. I know Lance was there. Great food, man. Great atmosphere. And Eli's told us it's not like he goes there to make like thousands of dollars. He's really out there to network and get you to be a part of the Livasa family, buy something and learn what Livasa is about. So
yeah,
man.
that part where it's being part of the family and really understanding what it's about, and the way he uses the Livasa brand to help his community, right? The food bank that they have every Saturday at the Via Dolorosa church there in Modesto.
He's part of a lot of groups, nonprofit groups out there in the Bay Area. Always helping out. He's connected to a lot of people out there who could help you. So if he's trying to, help you, you should really pay attention to these things.
Wants the best.
Yeah. Always wants the best. He's always looking to help people. So never looking for a handout from anybody or just really looking to help people. Genuine. That's what Livasa brand is all about. Is him going out there and being a reward to the community, helping them out.
So when you do see him at 4 days of Aloha and you do go to the tent and you do cop some of that merch, that apparel, the Livasa Island apparel, it's also going towards a good cause, towards good people, towards good family, community.
And if you do pop in and you see him, just give him a big hug from behind.
He'd be like, can I help you?
Oh man.
Yeah. Shout out to Brother Uso Jira.
Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun when he comes back.
He's also gonna have Uso Bao with him. Boat's
Yeah.
always with him, never far behind, always by his side. They go side, hand in hand. Uriah and Bao. So love to see the Usos out there. It's always fun, man. It's always fun seeing them. They're really great within that atmosphere, man. Like
Yeah.
reaching out to people, just talking to people and trying to get connected. So it'll be great.
Yeah.
Food's great. The music's great there. You get to visit with Uriah and Bo.
Mm-hmm.
So please mark that on your calendar. 4 days of Aloha.
For sure. Yeah, we're just letting you guys
That's
know.
the details of when it's going to happen in July.
Is it June? Is it June? End of June?
I thought it was July. I remember the first time we went, it was July.
Wait, see if you can look it up what day it is that it starts, just to be sure. But yeah, if you do, when you do come down to 4 Days of Aloha, Vancouver, Washington, Esther Short Park this summer, make sure to look for the Lavasa tent. Like Brother Forrest said, it's their 3rd year there. I guess Brother Uri, Brother Va. A bunch of the family always comes by and visits and really shows out for them. So yeah, we definitely want to make sure everybody knows they're in town that weekend and pops up. And yeah, I think there's going to be a cost to get into the festival because it is a bunch of different vendors. It's not just Lavas Island Peril,
It's
although
not.
that is a big headliner. Um, there's different foods, different like man, was it Lex 55? He had the
Lex was
uh,
there.
like the Islander playing cards, the anime
Islander plate.
drawings of the Islanders, the new
Yep, he always
T-shirts,
has. Yeah, yeah.
and then
So
yeah, different food stuff card all over the place. And not only is there that around the park, but there's also the performances and the you know, I think there's a concert every year now. So stuff happening in the middle of the field where everybody kind of sits down. Bring a chair, yo, bring a chair,
so you can
bring a
sit on the
chair.
field. It'll start Thursday, July 25th, and run all the way till Monday. 4 days, obviously, of Aloha.
Wow,
So
nice.
Thursday, July 25th. If you go onto their website, they'll have a full schedule of what's happening on each day. So I mean, we have more than one friend there. I mean, obviously Eri, because we are part of the Levasa family, but yeah, like you said, we had Lex there, him and his tent. We also had Eric, who set up his the best shave ice in Portland.
Island Nectar, Shave Ice.
Tyler Nectar, shave ice. We had guys like that, and I'm pretty sure as it's growing, we'll probably see a lot more of our people out there that we know personally. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's gonna be fun. Yeah, mark that on your calendar. July 25th.
July 25th.
Nice. It
July
starts
25th.
July 25th. So make sure, yeah, you're in town and getting ready to go Esther Short Park to see Levasa Island Apparel. All right. The Super Bowl happened. The Chiefs have repeated as Super Bowl champions, and we have to live with that because it's a fact, right? And especially for us in the AFC West as Raiders and Chargers
Bullshit.
fan.
Bullshit.
McQuay bullshit. I do not
Man,
understand.
if you're a
Uh,
Chiefs fan, fuck you, man.
just yeah, just have back to back the first back to back titles since what 2000 early 2000s Patriots 2004 and 5.
Oh, I don't acknowledge back-to-back championships.
Did the Raiders ever do back to back championships?
No, we won 3. Sorry, I took that as a threat. I was about to say, what about the Chargers? What did they win?
The Chargers have appeared in one Super Bowl that we lost to the Niners. I think that's the last time the Niners won a Super Bowl, 1995.
1995. You had the great Natron Means as your running back, who was like a flash in the pan spark that year because he didn't really do anything after that year.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Young, if I believe, was still the quarterback for the 49ers.
Jesse
Um,
Sapolu, that was like the last of their
last
re-
of their I want to say dynasty years where they had
yeah.
teams like I know they didn't win consecutive Super Bowls with everybody, but they won 6 of them bitches, 5 of them bitches. What they win? 5?
What Jesse
Because
Sapolu has like
come on,
4 Super Bowls, right?
the quest for 6. That's what it is, right? They didn't win their 6.
Oh, right, right,
They're on the
right. They
quest
have
for
5.
6. So they have 5. A great run because they people are gonna hate me for this too. Not hate me, but they'll come for me for this. But for me, Joe Montana is probably the greatest quarterback ever there out there was. The only other person I know that I would argue that is better than him or had a better career was Tom Brady because of his Super Bowls. So
right, Tom Brady has all the Super Bowls. Okay, wait, we got to get to the Montana. I feel like we could save the Montana, Mahomes,
for
Brady,
sure,
who is the
yeah,
best ones for another episode. But this Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes wins his third Super Bowl MVP. Uh,
third in 6 years, third in 6 years.
and never missed an AFC Championship game. Uh,
Sounds like
this
cheating
feels
to
like
me.
dynasty.
Sounds
This
like
feels
cheating to me.
this feels like a. I feel like dynasty. Like I mean,
I mean, it's growing into a dynasty. I'll give them that.
three
I can't.
championships
Yeah, but
already a dynasty.
oh man,
We're in the
you
middle of
can.
a we're like in the middle of it and not realizing, oh damn, this is happening. But I feel like when we go back, there's gonna be like, yo, they had Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, Eric
Yeah,
Bieniemy for a long time.
maybe when I go back, I'll think about it that way. But right now, I'm still a Raiders fan, so
Is
man,
it
no
too
dynasties,
fresh?
man.
Is it too fresh right now?
No, they're the
Like
Chiefs. I'm never gonna give them that. I don't care if they win 10 in a row. I'll never give them that.
this Raiders.
Um,
Did you see
but
any like
definitely,
cool Raider content from around since it was in Vegas?
oh, the best. When if I don't know if anybody's seen this, but Marshawn Lynch. Sorry for the Niners fans. Marshawn Lynch was going around a casino, and he was asking people. So Marshawn Lynch grew up in the Bay, so I get it. My hate for San Francisco isn't like that. More so for the Chiefs because I grew up watching. I grew up in American Samoa most of my life, so watching them play the Chiefs has been, that was the rivalry. And I know the Bay, uh, the battle between Bays is really big, especially for kids who grew up or folks who grew up in the Bay Area. But for me, like it's been Chiefs. But Marshawn Lynch is from Oakland. Went to school at Cal, played for the Raiders after an illustrious career with Seattle. So he was in Las Vegas Super Bowl weekend, but he was walking around the casinos and asking. Some of them were obvious 49er fans because they were in 49er gear.
They're
Like,
in
you a
gear.
49er fan? And they were like, yeah, he was like, fuck you. I think he got like maybe 8 people from the clip. Oh my gosh. And that was probably my best Raider. He was a Raider. I can count that as Raider content. But also seeing Andy Reid hit up AP and tell him thank you for giving them a shakeup during the season to where they were like, we got to get better before the Super Bowl. So that loss to the Raiders, Andy Reid
Yeah.
is he's crediting AP and the Raiders as them for helping them win the Super Bowl. And there's gonna be a lot of people who are saying, "What? It really didn't count because it was in the season and this and that." And look, Patrick Mahomes is trying to win that game. That's a rivalry game. Uh, you can have your opinion, but they were trying to win that game. They didn't win that game. The Raiders, again, you're a 49er fan, you're probably not going to like this, but we laid out the blueprint, to the way to beat them. And you guys had the best running back in the league, offensive player of the year, and you guys went away from him. I know you can't run the ball all the time, but you guys went away from him in certain parts of the game, and you just like, what are you doing? Uh, anyway, we're getting away from what we were saying. That's great Raider content is having Andy Reid talk up AP, especially with AP coming into his first inaugural season as the actual no interim title. He is the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, picking out his staff, which is funny because it's been hard picking out his staff. Uh, he had an offensive coordinator in Cliff Kingsbury, and like Cliff
Did.
Kingsbury fashion, was an asshole and left again. I don't care what people say. Oh, he wanted more years. No, he probably wanted more money, and those guys have is it the third pick, fourth pick? The Commanders.
Fourth. The Patriots are the third, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he left that. Then they got their offensive coordinator. Then they had a running back coach, and then he got offered the job at UCLA. So Deshaun Foster, hats off to you, man. I watched you in college and in Carolina when you played there. So I think he's going to be a great coach at UCLA, taking over there. But yeah, I
There,
mean, there's great stuff about the Raiders there during the Super Bowl weekend. So yeah,
there's shout out to Someone Raider and Mr. Fritz.
Oh
who
man.
launched the Ninth Island. Uh, After the Super Bowl, they were on Radio Row all weeks at Super Bowl week. They were with Big Body Cisco on the inside of the NFL Experience, like before it opened up to the public. That was really fun to like follow along with them and see the stuff that they were posting and kind of get
Yeah.
that view of all the
Yeah.
stuff that was going on there. Because like most of us aren't going to get a chance to go to the Super Bowl. I would no, actually, I'm going to say this right here. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. We're going to go and cover the Super Bowl. And
Yep.
yeah, seeing content like that, like really was like, oh, yo, this is the stuff we want to be doing. We want to be there and like asking the
Definitely.
questions, interviewing the people, really asking them stuff that like our listeners want to ask them, or we like think of that like really have
We
conversations.
also we also want to pass by San Francisco fans when they're walking down the road after the loss and Raiders because they
I
were
don't
doing
want to
that
do
too.
that. you know,
Oh,
yeah, there's definitely if you're looking for content that is from like Pacifica people and you're a Raider
tho-
fan,
those guys
after
are
us, you
great, man.
should also yeah, definitely
They're
follow the
yeah.
Ninth Island. They put out the clip with the rebranding where they had a bunch of different people, a bunch of different Raiders, former Raiders, and people in Vegas. Max Crosby, was that Marcus Allen?
Marcus Allen, they're legit. They're legit. Like they put in work to get to where
Yeah,
they are, but they get the interviews like with guys like that, and they get invited to things like that. So good to see that, man. That's
yeah, we got to
wow.
start doing that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. Shout out to them. Yeah, again, that was hella dope to see and freaking inspiring. Radio Row, Super Bowl, final score: the Chiefs do win in overtime. That's crazy. Only the second game to go to overtime. Only the second Super Bowl to go to overtime in almost 6 decades. The last one, Kyle Shanahan also was involved. That time as the offensive coordinator of the Falcons when they
For the
gave up that
Falcons.
25-point lead to the Patriots, tied up, went into overtime, and then the Patriots, I think, was it a James White touchdown to the right side?
It was.
But this one, the Niners chose to receive, got the ball, kicked a field goal after being stopped close to the red zone, and then the Chiefs, they're able to because of the overtime rules. Well, the kick doesn't win, right? Like
It doesn't win.
that's been the
Yeah,
rule for a while now. If you kick it, the other team gets to try to score.
true. So, but the touchdown either, I mean, the touchdown also doesn't get them the win because the other
Right.
team still gives them a chance to score. And I
Josh
know
Allen rule. That's the
right,
Josh Allen rule.
right. So everybody's complaining like, oh, obviously they admitted that they didn't know the rules. So I don't know how much that would have changed anything. But my thing is, you still go for points, and
Mhm.
everybody's like, it's an unwritten rule. Okay, well, when you start coaching in the NFL and you can go make your own rules. Like one thing I hate is
You
when
think they're
people are
loud
like,
about it because they're like, I'm more correct than the professional?
that's what I'm saying. If
Is that what it is?
I don't mind that you have an opinion. That's fine. That's what like that's why we have this platform right here. You can go out and make your own podcast and have your opinion. But when you're so matter of factly about it, like, bro, what do you
Kind of
do for a living?
disrespectful.
Go do what you do for a living. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
don't die on what you're like. It's crazy. Like some of
Yeah.
these folks are funny, especially even while we're here, people who are calling for Shanahan to be stepped down as the how many coaches
Yo.
like your coach led your team to the Super Bowl within the last he's been there
Ridiculous.
twice in the last 5 years, and you're telling me you want him to step down? Okay, smart guys.
There's
No,
there's no way that's like a big majority of the Niners,
no,
right? That's got
definitely
to be
not.
so small.
It's got to be so small. Like you, I mean, I get it because I'm a Raiders fan, and I hear stuff like this all the time with the Raiders fans. Like there are fans like I get it, man. You've been waiting for so long for some kind of, I guess, progress, but what more? I'm winning the Super Bowl obviously would be more progress for San Francisco, but bro, your team's been there twice within the decade, even less than the
Yeah.
decade. You still got great players. Now, I know a lot of people are dead talking about like dead on worried about free agency for San Francisco, but that's what GMs are for. John Lynch has been a really good GM. He'll make the numbers work. He's got his team. So if you guys are San Francisco 49ers fans, Try not to worry too much. Also, you won't be able to keep everybody. That's just reality.
Yeah.
uh, I mean, yeah. So a lot of people are talking about Brock Purdy will be the guy that you want to okay. And then Brock Purdy without everybody else is a good quarterback, but not a great team. So there's going to be a lot. And Brock Purdy, if I believe, still has a year left on this contract.
Right.
So
I think it's like a 3 year because he was like a late round pick.
right.
Otherwise, he probably would have been able to hit free agency this year. I think they said
Yeah.
if he was
Or
undrafted.
ask for more money. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so we know that the Chiefs won and they're having their parade. People are having a grand old time. Travis Kelce, not bumping into Andy Reid so much, but winners and losers. Not just the Chiefs won, the Niners lost, but the people that you think came out on top because of the Super Bowl. I feel like number one has to be Patrick Mahomes. Like
Definitely, because he steps it
his
up
three
more
Super
into
Bowl, three
the
Super Bowl
right.
MVPs.
So his legitimacy to the GOAT argument has grown now.
Yeah. Best
I think
quarterback currently?
Yes, definitely.
Right.
You can't say no. If there's anybody out there who says no, you don't watch football.
The things he does is wild, and it works.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you know what? We can't just say he was just passing you Travis Kelce. There were a lot of good moments where he was looking for Kelce. He found him. They got first downs, but that's not what he was doing. Like he had, what was it, 22 yards with his feet to keep the drive alive. He was hitting his guys. There was that throw where everybody's like, "What a great throw!" No, he kind of just threw it up, and his receiver was just there because the safety was a dumbass. But no, yeah, Patrick Mahomes is yeah. If you're
Big
arguing with
winner.
us, yeah, if you're arguing with anybody that he's not the best quarterback in the league currently, then I can't tell you nothing.
Anybody else from the Super Bowl you feel like was a winner?
Man, OJ McDuffie, uh, Chiefs, Chiefs DBs, because people are always getting on Chiefs DBs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are always like, it's always supposedly the weakest part of the Chiefs defense. But McDuffie, man, he did a job out there. Like there were plays where it just looked like he knew where everything was going. So
I
I like
saw
him out
that.
there.
I mean, I didn't like really pin in on him and watch him, but
Right.
I saw he gave his coach a lot of credit, like for timing up two of those blitzes that ended up in like
Yeah.
dead plays or
Yeah.
sacks. Like, he's like, yeah, they just put me in the right position. But you're saying like he was like, who was he covering?
Everybody. But
Oh, just like anybody in it, like
yeah,
more zone.
yeah. He had, I mean, there was a couple plays where it looked like Debo would have broke free, but he was able to be there to make the play, like, and not just like cover him and Debo dropped it, but he had a couple pass deflections, passes defended. Um, we didn't see much from Ayuk as well. You can say that they didn't target him, but I'm pretty sure they did. You know why they didn't get thrown to? Because he was covered. So, yeah, casual fans are always going to say stuff like they didn't target him. No, they didn't throw to him. Doesn't mean they didn't target him.
They tried to get it to him, but they couldn't
Right,
throw to him. He was so covered.
right. And
Nice.
Snead also, who's going into his free agency year, is about to make a lot of money after that Super Bowl because he was really good in the Super Bowl.
Snead?
Yep.
I think he's the one that got. I feel like he had. I mean, L'Jarius Sneed, I think, has been the Chiefs' like difference maker on
Yeah.
defense, especially.
Yep.
But I feel like I saw him get burned a couple times. I think that Jawan Jennings touchdown, Sneed was the one that like kind of just fell off of him, and Jawan was like, "Oh, I guess I'll score," and he like put the ball over.
I don't know if he's like burnt. I'll chalk it up to a bad read. You know what I mean?
I mean, he like slid off of his hips, like he had him tackled, and then he like fell off. But yeah, L'Jarius Sneed, if he doesn't, with the free agency, he was one of those big difference makers for the Chiefs.
I mean, we can name a bunch from Chiefs right now because also Jones is a free agent guy, so he's about to make money too. But he just said he wants to stay with just today said he wanted to stay with the Chiefs, so we'll see how that goes. But on the other side, you just mentioned Jennings. He threw one, he caught one. He was there for like really important possessions where he kept the drive alive, getting a
Yeah.
first down. So he's another weapon that they're pretty sure he's cool. They're cool with his contract. It's gonna be nice to see him. He gives him a little bit more leverage with like Ayuk, who's talking, or not
Yeah,
him, but
yeah, yeah. Ayuk
his
is
girlfriend. It's not
no.
even him.
Ayuk said it too.
Oh, okay, okay.
Today they asked,
I didn't
was it?
see
I
it.
don't know if it was today or early yesterday or late yesterday, but they asked him, "Hey, about the social media stuff that's been posted by his friends, his family,"
Yeah.
and they asked, "Do you want to be a Niner?" And he said, "If that's the right decision, then yeah. If that's the right decision."
So speaking objectively, obviously that's what you want to do. You gotta put yourself in the right position, especially if someone's gonna offer you more money and wherever they're asking, whatever team's asking you to come, you have to consider it if it's gonna be a better situation for you. But you coming off as but you're whack. I don't know.
Do you
That's
think
weird.
he should stay?
I do. I do. But again, it's also about money for these guys, for anybody that's playing. You obviously have to get your money. So if someone's gonna offer him a bag, then you know, obviously, go ahead. Hope that works out for you. Like, and I'm not even being sarcastic. Like, if you if you get more money to go somewhere else
Yeah.
and you think it's a better fit, definitely. I don't know how many other teams are going to be a better fit for him, just with the things that the 49ers do with him. Again,
The
yeah,
the 49ers raise not only your floor but also your ceiling, right? They're going to
exactly.
give you better looks and they're going to give you like, better stats. But
Yep.
I agree with what you're saying, and that he should be able to, if someone's going to give him a bag and he thinks for him it's going to be a better situation,
Right.
definitely,
Right.
more power to you.
Right.
That's
He's
what
still
you
a young
have
guy.
as a free agent, right?
Yeah.
But I don't agree with the like showing up the team
No, that's
presentation
weird.
of that. That part
That's
is like you
yeah.
got to go high road with that and be
Yeah.
like, you know
Like
what,
if
I
if
do
you're gonna
want to come
go
back, but I
right.
also have to take care of my family. That I feel like Frankie Luvu said the same thing, right?
No, exactly. And so Frankie's also we'll talk about it. Frankie's also on his free agency year. So what Frankie wants to do, obviously he's loved in Carolina and he loves everybody in Carolina, but
Mm-hmm.
he's also due his money. And I mean, he's a little older than Ayuk, if I'm not sure yet. Because Frankie's about 20, 29. I think he's 28. Um, he's gotta think about getting the
Yeah.
bag. And and Frankie, he wants to win. So he's got to think about both those things. In Carolina right now doesn't
Mm.
look like they're in the position to win a Super Bowl anytime soon. I mean, not just I'm not saying that they're not in position to win one someday because they're putting pieces together, but for Frankie's also, he's gonna have to start thinking about a team that's closer to getting to the Super Bowl, a team that can pay him the money he needs. His last contract, was a total of $11 million over whatever years they gave him. So now he's gonna,
Yeah.
after two great seasons, you know, this season wasn't as good as the season before, but still a great season for him. He's set to get paid. Pay this man. You know what I mean? Pay this man. He does everything you ask him on the field. Creates pressure. He can cover. He can put his hand in the ground and play end, go wide. He can play your middle linebacker. He can play every linebacker position. If you want to, he might be able to play safety. That's not just me, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
hyping up our guy. But yeah, I think this year he should be in the range of anywhere from like 11 to like 13 mil a year. I think that's what he should be looking for.
Per
So
year?
yeah,
Yeah. I was
11 to
saying when you
13.
said 11 million over the course of his entire contract, I feel like that's wait, that was over 2 or 3 years
I
with
think so.
Carolina.
That was his last contract. Yeah,
So I feel like that's under market
very,
value, right?
and that's true.
Especially for what
But
he produced for them, and
oh,
how he,
that's perfect. That's
yeah,
exactly what it is. The thing with him is he was coming in from the Jets, and he wasn't a full time starter there yet.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He had done some things, but not great things. And then when they offered him that contract, it was a great contract for that time. But then he got into Carolina and proved that he's a full time starter. He's
A difference
you know,
maker,
yeah, he's a difference maker. He's not
locker
just one of
room
those
guy,
big locker
fire,
room guy. Yeah, he
yeah.
he brings he brings that culture that you want in your locker room.
I want him to
Browns
be
are
a
not.
Charger so bad.
That's
Bro,
not going to happen.
pay this young, hard, like tough nosed,
No,
hard working guy the money and be like not only a locker room fire, but a work ethic standard
man,
in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Set the standard, set the example for everybody in the organization. I feel like Frankie is one of those guys. Definitely been underpaid. Hopefully he gets the bag
definitely.
for free.
I was on Twitter last night and I tagged Tom Telesco and I said, look, I said,
Oh,
Tom
Raiders
Telesco, why
GM
not
Tom
bring in
Telesco.
Frankie Louvu for a visit? Just a visit. You know what I mean? Oh man. The only thing weird I'm about him playing in California is how much they gonna tax his money. Because California's taxes
Damn
are
yeah.
ridiculous. Was it Eric Armstead who showed his game day check of $400,000 and they took 400 plus $1,000 and they took about 200,000 from his check
That's
in
crazy.
for taxes. That's
That's crazy.
crazy. Like,
Yeah. It's a nice place to live, yeah.
so I mean,
No.
that's
it's sunny.
man.
It's
Oh
a
my
sunshine
gosh.
tax.
I guess that what you yeah, I guess so. But yeah, any teams out there, we'd love to have Frankie on this side of the country.
Yeah, hell
Playing on
yeah.
the West Coast, his family and friends would be great. We could like visit more games. But yeah, I mean, before we stop talking about Frankie, just like you said, man, if there's one thing you can say about Frankie, I don't know if anybody can outwork him off season, during the season. He's always focused. And a lot of people are gonna say, well, I see him having fun. Well, you gonna have your fun. You gotta have your fun. So that way you're focused when you go back to work. You can have all that fun, but you can't have all that fun without putting in the work. And Frankie's all about putting in the work. Obviously, he right now he's working his ass off. I think he's in San Diego right now, training where he usually trains during the off season with um, with Big Dan. He's out there. They usually train with a lot of guys that they're like they and a lot of Polynesian kids to hang out with. Guys who aren't playing, who used to play, current players. Like I know Jelani Tawai is good friends with them, so he's out there sometimes.
Nice.
I know Kendrick Bourne usually trains out here in Portland when he's off season, but you know they all hook up sometimes, so it's great to see that. But yeah, Daniel Equale and Frankie Lubu, you guys are looking for a D tackle and an amazing linebacker. Those are two guys you guys should be looking to sign this season. Whatever teams are looking for those right now, so it'll be exciting.
See, before we hit shout outs, let's finish Super Bowl losers. Oh, wait. Actually, I had a couple of Super Bowl winners.
Yeah,
Andy Reid and the Corn Dog.
definitely, definitely.
Usher and Friends. I thought that was a really good halftime show.
Usher for us, but then that hug at the end. Now look, I know it has to do performance wise. You got to perform a little bit, you know. But hey, man, if I'm Swiss Beats,
The hug at the end?
if I'm of the end of Usher and Alicia Keys' performance.
Oh, the hug from behind?
But don't do that.
Don't
Like,
do that?
if I no, that's not your wife. That is a married woman. Like you are crazy.
I
If
don't
I'm
think he was
Swiss
trying to
Beats,
like put his dick in her. Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's Usher, man. You know what I mean? It's Usher. Shit. This is the fool
no.
that gave. What did he give the other lady? He
Does
gave her
Usher
like
have
the
that
video or
vibe?
something.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
of course he does. Of course he
What?
does, bruh. He did the same thing to Kiki Palmer and her boyfriend. And now look,
That's his show. He's putting on a show. Like,
oh yeah, okay.
okay, all right.
If
So
it, if you're
maybe
that good
Usher's
at
not
it
a
in the
winner.
show,
You're saying
no,
Usher's not a winner? I thought that halftime show
not in
was
Philadelphia. Hey, if I'm Swiss Beats, you're not allowed in Philly no more. I think
okay.
that's where Swiss Beats is from, or New York. But
Swizzy. I also thought Brock Purdy's pocket presence, like it was noticeable. He was just standing there.
I saw you. I saw when you said that. I believe there's some pocket presence to it, but I also believe he just sometimes you're just holding the ball so long and you don't have pocket presence.
Mm.
It's just like, bro,
What?
let the fucking ball go. Like, I know you're trying to make a play, but if it's not there, let the ball go. Next play. Next
Yeah,
play.
yeah. Definitely the way you're reading it, let it go.
Yeah.
But I'm saying,
Or
like the way he
also,
was feeling the pocket, he looked like he was standing up straight. Like he doesn't look very tall, but he looked like he was standing up straight and not
yeah,
pressured around him by the
solely
stuff that the Chiefs
because
were
he had
doing.
to. tried to look over his line.
Because he's short.
Look, you know what helped you get to where you were in the playoffs was using your feet. Do that. And I know a lot of guys are like, well, some guys are worried about getting hurt, but I mean,
I don't think
if you're
he
thinking,
does that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you think about getting hurt, you're probably gonna get hurt. But you know what I mean? You use your feet well during the season, especially in that last couple playoff games. Do that. You know what I mean? So, but I get what you're saying. I think Brock Purdy overall was a winner just because he got there. And it's not his fault. Like everybody's got to perform. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people were like, "Whoa, no, see, he is just a game manager." Well, he managed him all the way to the Super Bowl, so shut the fuck up.
He had somebody else throw a touchdown, but yeah, 255. I thought he did it, and his passing with stats at the end of the day were okay, but they weren't enough.
No,
they weren't enough.
Exactly. Well, someone has to lose. You know what I mean? Someone has to lose.
Yeah.
It was Brock Purdy that day.
Yeah. So those are some of the winners we have. Super Bowl losers. I think the first one has got to be Kyle Shanahan. Like, as a coach, you start getting people asking for your job, even though you've taken your team to the NFC Championship and Super Bowl multiple times since you got there. Like, before him and Jim Harbaugh, who was the coach of the Niners? Like, they were like lost in the wilderness for a long time. And now they have like a coach that is showing them success, but just because to this point, he hasn't won the big game, he hasn't won the Super Bowl in big moments. They're saying, oh, well, then he's never going to do it. We should get somebody else in here. That's crazy, right?
It is crazy.
That's the stuff you invite when you lose your third Super Bowl that you've had a double-digit lead in as a coordinator or a coach. When the last time you repeat, well, I mean, we saw that in Super Bowl rematches, the coach that won the first Super Bowl has never lost the second Super Bowl. They've always doubled up on the coach, and that continued. This time, Kyle Shanahan could not beat Andy Reid again in a battle of two offensive coaches with great. I mean, Shanahan's the one that had the great team, right? On the Chiefs roster was not comparable to the talent of the Niners roster.
I was the very one who said that too. I told you that on paper they looked like less. How do you lose with having those guys on your team? But also, what's his name? Kermit the Frog. When you have Kermit the Frog on the other side, Patrick Mahomes, Jesus, Patrick Mahomes on the other side, he's worth 10 of your good players. So I mean,
he balances it out.
He does. And so you're saying that Kyle Shanahan, that's your number one loser. I'll raise you one and say Steve Wilks because Steve Wilks got fired. So we can say Shanahan.
Shanahan hasn't actually lost his job yet.
Yeah, Shanahan. Yeah, hey, he's the loser. People want his job. Well, you know what? He was able to say, "I'm gonna keep my job," but you, Wilks, you gone, dog.
You think Steve Wilks was the problem on that defense?
I don't. There's a lot of more problems. They lost Greenway, who, if you saw,
my goodness, Greenlaw,
Greenlaw was amazing. He's just, and it's. I don't know if he was out. It didn't look like he was celebrating. It just looked like he was getting out to the field.
He was hyped. He was like, yeah, let's go.
And if anybody knows, like, the body's weird like that. If you're like that hyped, your body might be, it's different. So
it's an Achilles, right?
Yeah, an Achilles tear. Yeah.
Tear. He's not going to play this year.
It's different now.
Unless he's like Aaron Rodgers or something.
I mean, but even Aaron Rodgers, that was way quicker than anything. Like, I think Aaron Rodgers.
I think he lied about him being okay, and he was like, "I'm just not going to play."
Or that, because Aaron Rodgers, as we're finding out now, is a much bigger asshole than anybody ever thought of. Yeah, but I think Greenlaw. I think he can make it back within the season. I think he has time. Also, depending on how bad the rupture is. So if it's a full rupture, obviously it's going to be a longer time. If it's a partial rupture, not as long, and it won't be as hard as the rehab won't be as hard. But also, we've seen miracles in medicine these days. So we're so far advanced in medicine these days that the time frame is, we'll see. They'll come out with a time frame.
their roster though, the San Francisco 49ers roster is about to blow up, right? Like I mean, I haven't taken a
Parts
deep
of
look
it,
at it, but
right? Parts
everybody
of
has
it,
said, top paid in so many different positions, the
right?
contracts they've got to be bumping up against the salary cap if not over it. So there's going to be stuff that goes on, and I feel like the Greenlaw injury, if it is a year-long recovery process, like he's not going to be ready until maybe playoffs at the earliest if he does make some miracle recovery. So I feel like Greenlaw a winner for like his passion and that he is kind of the engine of that defense while Fred Warner is the like brain of the defense. Greenlaw, that injury kind of opened the door up for the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs have not been getting anything going. And I think the Niners were up 10-0 or something like that, but
Yeah, something like that.
that felt like it gave the Chiefs like room to breathe a little bit, just enough to like start to believe that they could pull it out, and they weren't going in such a wrong direction. They could still salvage it, and people took notice. I saw like a video of Mahomes like, oh snap, 57's out, 57 just got injured, and they started. I guess figuring out how to attack his replacement. I think Kelce started getting going in the second half too. I got Kelce as a loser in this game. I know he picked up his second to whatever Super Bowl, but that freaking shove on Andy Reid, like when he was
Oh,
like, "Get me in the game, give me the
if if
ball."
we're talking about that, that definitely is probably the biggest loss during the Super Bowl because he's gonna lose some fans. He's gonna
Yeah,
lose some public opinion of him, uh, and that all goes to losing money. You know what I mean? Like a lot of that stuff is your image. Obviously, you're gonna say some things like, "Who cares what people think about you?" When he's as big as a football star as he is, that's gonna hurt your pocket. You know, because when it comes to deals, endorsement deals, you're gonna pick him, the guy who was yelling at his coach on the side, who went and bumped him and was making an ass of himself in front of national television. Other people are gonna be like, "Well, that's the fire you need. You want to win, you know." But
Andy Reid said that. Andy Reid
true,
said, "I appreciate his passion."
but he's that's a really polite way of saying, "I
Yeah,
appreciate his passion," but
that's a nice way of saying he's lucky we won. He's
that
lucky we
too,
won because if we had it, I would have get this guy out of here. But
that
I think exactly what you're saying. The outlook is terrible. I think he loses some respect from some, not maybe not
definitely
people in the locker room, but definitely
no
around America, who have been looking at him as like
right.
Taylor, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, and just like, oh, this is a cool guy. He does have a bunch of commercials. He had a bunch of back-to-back commercials in the playoffs. So I want to see how this changes, but I feel like kind of his reputation and his like
Yeah,
character kind of takes a
definitely
hit. But
damaged. Definitely
he's
damaged.
he's already on the New Heights podcast. His brother's calling him out, saying he was way overboard and out of line. And he's like, yeah, totally. It's just the heat of the moment. Sorry, I love Big
That
Red, and
oh my god,
you
that's
know,
cool too. But like you waited so long to come out and actually make a statement, and that's a controlled atmosphere where you can put out what you want to on their
yeah,
own podcast. Your brother calling you out, he should be calling you out, but at the same time, it's your brother. So maybe on another podcast where you're not controlling the narrative on the podcast, or you
yeah.
can be a guest on someone else's. Yeah, but as far as him, yeah, loser because you're about to lose some money.
Who else do we have written down? You have any other losers from the
Yeah,
Super
man,
Bowl?
the 49ers
The Niners. The Niners are down bad right now,
and
bro.
all the fucking Niner fans who I hate. Fuck you guys,
Uh,
bro.
yeah,
There were so many people talking so much smack. I get it, man. The love for your team, I love it. But some of these guys are so blind to things like. And then the people who picked up football for other reasons besides football and then are interested now, I love that. I love that because I love it's good for the game.
with the
When people like
gamblers, with the
those guys
Swifties,
too. Oh my gosh. Like for San Francisco, if you
the
pick up a
kids
game
watching the
late,
Nickelodeon broadcast.
oh, that was pretty cool. Hey, Nickelodeon's a winner for that. That was
Hey,
cool
true, true, true.
because Disney came
The
out with her
youth.
with Right. Disney did their football game, Toy
Oh
Story
yeah,
style.
the Toy Story
Right.
stuff. Yeah,
Pixar. That was pretty cool. So shout out to Nickelodeon for doing that too.
and is Nickelodeon owned by CBS then?
No, Nickelodeon I think is now with
Paramount?
I don't know who they're with, but I know that they're with Netflix also because that's why a lot of the Nickelodeon shows now are shown on Netflix.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't know if they bought into it or if it's just a deal between them, but it might be CBS. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah. Other than that, man, you were spot on with the winners and losers. I think right now we're gonna see during free agency who will be the next set of winners and
Ooh,
losers, especially during Chris Jones. If he leaves, definitely the Chiefs will be a loser uh, this offseason.
yeah, for
And
real.
there's free agents, but it's just their contracts right now that the San Francisco. It's not just that they have free agents
Oh,
that
okay.
are pending this season, but some of the contracts are coming to an end, and so you're going to have to do something about them now. Also to sign other people to make room for guys like I think Kinlaw for sure is a free agent, but he wasn't like that's a guy you can afford to lose. I think in Kinlaw. Uh, he just started showing up late. He was a high draft pick for them early coming out of college when they picked him up. First round, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So that contract, you might be able to get rid of that contract. Jennings is a free agent. You might want to keep him. You know,
Jawan
Gibson,
Jennings
yeah, Jawan Jennings is a free agent.
showed up in the Super
Uh,
Bowl.
Gibson is a free agent. You got Hufang coming back, so you
Oh,
might be
thank
able to let go.
goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, so you might be able to. So there's things that are. It's not like please if you're a free agent. I mean free agent. If you're a fan of your team, and you're worried about free agency, and you're seeing all these memes about guys who are supposedly might leave, go read for yourself. Read who was actually a free agent. Read the contracts that are about to expire and what they're going to do with it. So you're not too like, you know what I mean? You know what to expect during your offseason, your team's offseason. Because although San Francisco has a lot of free agents, a lot of them aren't like
You say
we got to
like
get
life
these
or
guys
death or
right. Yeah,
matter
it's like
that mattered?
CMC, and uh Purdy. Their contracts don't end this year. Obviously, you're gonna have to deal with them soon, but you know,
But they're
so
going to
but
be on your team next year.
right, they're still
Yeah.
gonna be on your team next year. So yeah, well, yeah, Chris Jones is a big name for sure because he wrecked that O line. Even if people are saying that that wasn't their assignment, John Feliciano, but
Yeah. What is that about? That's weird.
even if you're gonna say it's not your assignment or Chris Jones did a really good job, and that's what he does. So he's a proven commodity in the league. Um, he's top five defensive tackles that you want on your team. So yeah, Hargraves is also I think the one free agent also that they're probably not going to resign and people are going to gripe about but shouldn't is Chase Young because he's a big name. Hasn't really proven to have a big game.
Yeah.
So I'm a rapper out here, dog. Shit, but I'm over here doing my hey Sepa sign me, dog.
Hey.
Sepa sign me, man. No, don't sign me. Don't ever sign me to be a rapper. But yeah, guys, yeah, Chase Young is one name that people are going to be like, why aren't you trying to re-sign him? Well, because it was a 1 year contract. He got traded during. It wasn't even a contract. It was an expiring contract when he got traded to them midseason. He didn't do enough. He didn't do enough in Washington to garner a contract from San Francisco. He didn't do anything for them this year. It looked like he was going to get going in the Super Bowl, but then that was, fraud.
Yeah.
So, but he's still a young guy. He's probably going to go somewhere, find a system that he's going to be good in, and then, he's going to be good and hopefully and not a bust. But I think that's if you're a San Francisco 49er fan, you're listening right now, you guys don't need Chase Young. You can
Yeah.
get production somewhere else. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Any shout outs for this week?
Man. shout out to everybody on Valentine's Day. Um, love is love, man. Like, yo, it's Valentine's Day, and I know the whole Valentine's Day thing has blown into something else because of uh, all these
Wait, what?
commercial companies. Like, it's been blown up so much.
What is
Like,
what is it supposed to be?
about, Saint Valentine. I won't get into it because I don't know, but
I was gonna say that you're like it's gotten so twisted and it's supposed to be.
but
You know.
I'm Catholic. I should know. I went to a Catholic high school too. But no, like, hey man, you guys, if you have someone on Valentine's, go out. Don't let people be like, you should be Valentine's every day. Yes, it should be. But they have one day that you go all out for it. So shut up and stop trying to make these people feel bad for spending money on dinner and flowers. Flowers are cool. If you don't like flowers, then okay. We'll get you something that you do like toilet paper, I guess, or chocolate. I don't know.
Toilet paper.
But for everybody else also who doesn't have a Valentine, be your own Valentine. You know what I mean? Do something nice for yourself.
Will you be there, Valentine?
Oh my gosh, I will be. But just know that I'm gonna have to cook for you because I'm currently
Oh, don't let Forrest good for you. You might fall in love real quick.
See, and that's the thing.
He said,
So hey, if you want something to eat, you need a Valentine. Let me know. Come by. Now, what do I have? I got some. Oh yeah, we make something good. I got some pork chops, some string beans. We definitely make a good meal out of it. But use Valentine's Day for what it's used for, is to love people. And if you have to love yourself over and over and over and over again.
whoa. I was gonna say I love you, bro.
hey, I love you too, man.
Over and over and over again. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. We are
Happy
recording this on
Valentine's
Valentine's Day. We're recording it super early, so we have our nights free.
Right.
Appreciate you for hopping on, bro.
So I can love myself.
Any other shout outs?
Oh man. Shout out to my niece Oriana, who's like, I grew up. So my sister misses my older sister. All her kids in the whole entire family of my other siblings, only her kids call me by my first name. No uncle, no nothing like that. Because I kind of grew up with them like they were my siblings also.
Yo, Forrest.
Right. So my niece Oriana, that's my ride or die. Like all my good habits she has, but most of my bad habits is also I gave to her. But she just turned 24, man. She's doing things right. She had a great job. Yeah, man. Happy birthday to her. But also my pop's birthday is on Sunday on the 18th. I love my guy. He's my favorite guy in the world, man. So shout out to my guy. You know what I mean? For everybody who's dealt with a parent who's going through like dementia and Alzheimer's, it's tough. I know. My dad's like, I don't think I can say early stages anymore, but it's not as bad as some folks. I've seen some folks really struggle with their parents, like waking up and they don't know where they are, or just forgetting certain things. So my pops, I think his short-term memory is really bad right now. Like, I came in from Vegas. I was flying to Vegas. He asked me in the daytime, "Hey, what are you doing?" So I was like, "I'm flying to Vegas today." Vegas? Oh, okay. Comes back 7 minutes later. Where are you going? You're packed. Because at Vegas, he goes, "You're flying to Vegas?" I was like, "Yeah." He has his bad days, but there's more good days than bad days. There's more good memories than bad memories. So I'm thankful to still have my pops here, who's going to be 80 on Sunday.
Hey, nice.
Yeah. Hey man, we don't live that long these days. You know what I mean? My dad's like old school, like, you know what I mean? The old people now, I don't know what they were doing when they were younger, but they had the secret to live to 80. Shit, I'm 44 right now. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna live, but
well, I've been thinking about, I'm like, oh man, how much time do I have left? I need to start eating some vegetables. Is that a fruit?
Hey, if fruits taste like French fries, we have no
problem. All day. All day.
Yeah, but shout out to my pops, man, for being my pops, man, favorite guy. If you know him, you know he's funny. If you don't, he's funny. When we were kids, he used to tell us about how he came to American Samoa, and the way he told it was that one day he was in the Philippines and he surfs, and he was waiting one day for the waves, and then he jumped on this wave, and it just so happened to be the forever wave that goes around the world forever. And he stopped off in American Samoa when he saw my mom at the beach. So that's my dad, man. That's a good story. It's Valentine's Day, so that's a gem for you guys. Yeah,
That's
but
great.
that's my
Shout out to
shout.
the old
Yeah,
man.
shout out
Nice.
to the yeah.
Bro, I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to everybody listening. Thank you guys for tapping in. Thanks for being with us throughout the whole football season. It is over now. We're still going to talk a
Oh
lot of
man,
football each
still gonna
week,
talk a lot of football, but isn't
but
it
yeah,
great that
the
we're not
the
gonna be able to
season
watch it?
the season being over, there's still a bunch of stuff coming up. We got free agency, we got the draft, we got fantasy football
Hey, we also
drafts, we
got
got
the
previews.
UFL. If you guys watch football, like really go watch. Got Shalom Luani playing out there. I think what was his name? There's a couple quarterbacks from Hawaii that are playing. Samoan kids, a lot of Polynesians playing in the
Jordan
UFL.
Tamu,
That's who I was thinking about exactly. Jordan Tom still playing there because he was like, I think he was like MVP
was
last
he in
year of the
the championship?
yeah for the that's XFL, which is now combined together.
Yeah.
But he played in both, so
We're still gonna
yeah.
have football.
No
We're probably
football,
not
yeah,
gonna cover the UFL. We're just gonna do the. We're gonna cover when they're showing out and doing what they
for
do. But
sure, for sure.
yeah, we still got basketball. Might even do a little
Basketball's up.
baseball. Stay tapped in.
Go
Um,
Braves.
Follow us. Subscribe to the YouTube. Yeah, let's build that out. Also, the Polyticket Network.
Yep.
We've been pushing work there. Pacifica Movie Starter Kit way back Wednesday. Also, Cepha and Marcus got the Polyticket podcast and their Patreon. So definitely check out the Polyticket Network on YouTube. And we've got a lot more coming. A lot more content. I'm hoping more shows. Force and halftime, or we can. I mean, there's so many different show
Things you
avenues
can
we
do.
can go
Yeah.
to. That's more than this, but yeah, shout outs
Shout out
and
to the
definitely
boys.
follow us
I was just listening to their
there.
podcast. Is the gym, the Cepha man. You go ahead and ruin all the tests you have to if your favorite celebrity passes away in your dreams. It's warranted. So if
Vandalism.
you if you don't if you don't listen, go listen. Always great takes on everything, almost like everything relevant. So
Yeah,
yeah,
very relevant.
yeah.
Check out what they're talking about, and you got to follow and subscribe to really be on top of the latest. The
Yep.
way they break down everyday stuff, poly Twitter, social media stuff that's going on there. Definitely want to check them out there. Also, shout out to my girl, Samantha Jobs, Dashba,
Sammy.
the mother to our child, Nora Jean. Um, Also, Lulu Faletongo. Man, that's crazy. We'd be looking at the kid, and she'd just be doing stuff, and we're like, "Yo, we made a person." And she actually grew up and pretty smart and cute and funny and strong as shit. She can climb. Her legs are hella strong. It's crazy. Yeah. Shout out to my girls, Sammy and Nora.
Hell yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for putting up with me. Yeah, and definitely just a reminder to try to be a better partner and father on days like this when putting together nice little holiday dinners or stuff. But
Yeah.
trying to make that, like people say, make every day Valentine's Day. Like
Amen.
trying to get that into the the workflow. But yeah, thank you also to you and for everybody for tapping in. This has been the Ballinesian podcast. And we're going to have more content for you, more shows. We got coming up next week, so tap in. Until then, stay hydrated, stay blessed, stay balling, love and light. Peace.